Hello, my name is June, and in this video we will look at numbers. So let's begin. There are two types of numbers. Let me write it down. The first is called integers. Integers. These are the numbers without a decimal part. So for example, 1 is an integer, 10 is an integer, 25 is an integer. And the other type is a float. Float. Float is a number that has a decimal part. So 1.1 is a float, 10.5 is a float, 25.2 is a float. So you can use integers to store the count. For example, the number of students in your class, that's an integer. But if you are measuring the length of something, it can be 10.2 meters, or someone's weight, they could be 50.5 pounds. Though that's a float. Now, one thing to notice that I think some people ignore is that if you have 10.0, that's still a that's still a float because it has a decimal part. For a number to be an integer, it does not have a decimal part. So because it has a decimal part, it's still a float. It's still a float. So this is it. Now let's go to our interactive console and do some maths. Now you can add, subtract, multiply, and divide integers in Python. Let me show you. So you have 2 plus 3, which is 5. Yeah, we have 2 minus 3. That's negative 1, or you can do 3 minus 2 as well. Now that's 1. And we can do multiplication. Now if you haven't done any programming before, we use the asterisk symbol for multiplication, not the X. It's the asterisk. If you hit shift and then the number 8 in your keyboard, you will see the symbol 2 asterisk 3. Now that's 2 times 3, which is 6. And we use the slash key for division. Let's do 3 divided by 2. Now that's 1.5. Now you can do 2 divided by 3, and what's that? 0.66. Yep, 0.6666. These are the four most basic operations. Let me write them down. So we call them arithmetic operators. By the way, arithmetic operators. There are not many. You can learn about all of them in one sitting. Most of them you already know, such as plus, minus, multiplication, and division. So let me write them down. Plus, minus, and then asterisk for multiplication, and finally forward slash for division. Now there are a few more that we will look at, but this is what you need to know right now. Now let's read this section. Python uses two multiplication symbols to represent exponents. Let's talk a little bit about exponentiation, or we also call it power exponents. Let me give it a heading, exponents. Now in maths you must have done something like 2 to the power of 5 to the power of 3, which is 5 times 5 times 5, which will be 125. And if you have used calculator, you might know that in order to do the same thing inside a calculator, we use the caret symbol. We call it caret. We type 5, and then we type 3. This is what you would see on a calculator display, and that would give you the same result, 125. Now in programming, you have two choices. You have two choices. So let me make it clear. Let me make it clear. This is math. So this is your math that you do on paper. This is calculator, and this is Python. Now in Python, you have, as I said, two options. The first one is a very basic option. You can type it 3 times, 5 asterisk 5 asterisk 5. That would give you, of course, 125. Or there's a shortcut, which is 5 double asterisk. So let me make it a little cleaner. 5 and then double asterisk 5. Sorry, not 5, 3. That will give you, I forgot to finish that, 125. So to make it simpler, double asterisk, they do the same thing that a cat symbol does on a calculator. Or if you don't want to use it, there is not a strict rule. You can type it out like this. They will give you the same result. This is just a shorthand notation. So for example, 10, we can raise 10 to 4. Now that's 10,000. That's 10,000. Now you can do the same in Python. 10 double asterisk 4. That will also give you 10,000. So I guess it's clear now. So let's go to our code and see. 3 double asterisk 2. That's 9. So 3 times 3 is 9. And just a side note, which is that you don't need spaces between your operations. 2 plus 3 will work the same way as 2 space 3. In the same way, 3 double asterisk 2 will work the same way as 3 space double asterisk 2. The reason you see spaces around your operation is because it looks cleaner. It looks cleaner, it's easier to read, it's just fun to work with. You can see here, when everything is combined together, it doesn't look good. So we can do more example. 3 double asterisk 3 is 27, because we are doing 3 times 3 times 3, or just 3 with a single asterisk. That's multiplication. That's just 3 times 3, which is 9. Now this is the important section. Python supports the order of operations too. So you can use multiple operations in one expression. You can also use parentheses to modify the order of operations. So Python can evaluate your expression in the order you specify. Let's look at order of operations. So for example, multiplication is actually done before addition. So 2 plus, if we do 2 plus 3 times 4, we will get 3 times 4, 12, and then that will be added to our 2. That's 14. Now if you want your addition to be done first, you can use parentheses. This is how we do in math as well, so I hope the concepts can connect. Now 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 times 4 is 20. And I should have a table in some other notes. Let me see. That can actually show you the complete precedence rule. Let me see. Yep, here it is. Here it is. So let me see if I can tap it down here. And let's go back to our notes. Let's go back to our notes. Not this one. So this is the order of operations. So the idea is if you have so many operations in your code, so let's say 4 double asterisk 5, and then you have division, let's say 2, and addition 1, and then you can also subtract 100 from it. What would be done first? You can keep going, honestly, you can keep going. Multiply it by 10 divided by 3. The question is what will be done first? Of course you can control the order using parentheses, but what is the rule Python uses? Well, this is the rule. The first thing that will be evaluated are double asterisk exponentiation. So let's see. The first thing will be exponentiation, and then these four. We haven't looked at these two for now, so you can ignore them. You can ignore them. Then these four will be done. Now they are at the same level. What we do, we look at left to right. We look at left to right. We read from left, and whatever appears first, then that will be done. The same rule is with addition and subtraction. They are one is not superior to other. So let me show you what I mean. I can copy and paste all of this. I can copy and paste all of this here, and we can go through it together. The first thing will be done is the double asterisk, so exponentiation. Now that's 4 times 4, 5 times. I don't know what that would be, honestly. 4 times 4, 5 times. So I could type it out in a calculator and see. So 4 times 4, 5 times, that's 1024. Let's write it down here. 1024. 1024. Now we are done with that. The next thing that will be done is division, because that's the first thing we'll see when we read left to right. Now let's do that as well. Oops. Now we are going to divide it by 2. Let's divide it by 2. 1024 divided by 2 is 512. 512. 512. Now we are going to ignore addition and subtraction for now because they come last. Now we have multiplication and division again. We read left to right. Multiplication comes first, then division, so that will be done first. So 10 times 100 is just 1000. So let's write it down. 512 plus 1 minus 1000 divided by 3. Now division comes before addition and subtraction, as I told you, so that this part will be done first. Let's divide 1000 by 3. 1000 by 3, and we get 333.3. Okay, 512 plus 1 minus 333.3 plus 1. Now we can type it all out in our console and see what we get. 179.67. Now let's see if that was the exact match. Yep, it is the same number. Now here we see 666, but here we see 6.7 because I just typed 0.33. I didn't type it all out. But I think you get the idea. This is the order of operation if you don't use parentheses. First we have exponentiation, then multiplication and division. What will be done first? We read left to right. And finally, addition and subtraction. We apply the same rule. We read left to right, whatever appears first. So in this case, we did division. First of all, we did this one, exponentiation, but then we had one division, one multiplication, and another division. They have the same precedence. Now we read left to right, 3 and 4. And finally, we did addition and subtraction. This one we did at 5th, and this one we did last at 6th. And I guess I'm going to end the video now. In the next one, we will look at floats, the other type of data. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.